Welcome back to That's What She Said. I'm Carrie Rosso, and I'm super excited to have an awesome panel of women here today. Let's start with our old timers. Yes, I just called us old timers. I'm Carrie Rosso.
I'm Jeanette Jersick.
I'm Carol Wackerlin.
I'm Brittany Black.
I'm Debbie Hensleigh, but I'm not an old timer.
You're our young timers. We're the old timers. You're the young timers.
Got the new blood in the house.
Yes.
New blood.
Yeah. Yes. So Debbie was a speaker this year at That's What She Said, and we adore you. And through Debbie, we met you. So let's back the truck up and tell us how you two know each other.
Okay. And I will say that I was kind of the old timer on the speakers this year. That's what she
I was
said.
the old timer last year.
Okay, good.
The alumni old timers.
Just defending myself. So Brittany and I have known, when did you move to Champaign?
2008.
So we've known each other probably since about 2010, because I moved back here in 2010.
So did you meet so are you a graphic designer, a web designer?
Actually, I am the friend, I'll say best friend, of her daughter.
Best friend.
And that's kind of how we got connected.
And so did you meet because there was a need you were doing a...
No.
Tell me everything.
Okay, so it actually started before I even got involved with what she was doing. I was just kind of going through this tough time of just feeling lost and I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. Even though I felt like I was close, I just couldn't quite put all the pieces together. Mm-hmm. And so my friend Anne said, well, you should really talk to my mom. That's kind of what she does. And so I did. And we started going through just personality stuff and my gifts and my wiring and everything else. And I think Your Best Third is a product of that in some ways, but I've just loved that Debbie started as an encourager of me, and I feel like now I can be encouraging to her and kind of support what she's doing now. So
so tell us what Your Best Third is.
Okay, well, can I say something else about
Yes,
that?
you can. I feel like yes, you can. Now you. Yes.
You're the referee.
Yes, you may.
It's always fun to hear what somebody else remembers about what happened, So one of the things I know, because as Brittany and I were talking about, her life changes and where she wanted to go, I was at home starting to think about what I wanted to do with Your Best Third, and one day it struck me like a bolt of lightning that she has a degree in marketing. And that wasn't really where she was working at all. So it's just one of those things that took me a couple of months to figure out, hey, wait, I need somebody who can do a website for me, and I bet Brittany can do that. Besides the fact that she's just artistic on many levels. She sings, she plays the guitar, she has all sorts of things. So, Your Best Third?
Yes.
Okay.
Go.
So, actually, it did go back to when I turned 60, and then my mother was 90, and I did not quick math, because math isn't my forte, but it took me a couple of days to figure out 30 years was a third of my life. And so my husband and I started talking to him, I'm like, Dave, what are we going to do for 30 years? Because when my mother turned 65, their mindset, you will relate, was, okay, I'm going to retire at 65, travel a few years, and then die when I'm 70 or 72.
I never
That's
thought.
just kind of it.
I never thought.
No, our parents.
But-
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Just want to say that.
No, but it's that's the mindset, because the life
previous.
expectancy was a lot shorter. And so my mother was in fact, she lived to be 94. And I thought, what am I going to do with 30 more years? And so Dave and I actually came up with what we want to do is for the next third, however long it lasts, we want to need less and give more. And so we've done a lot of focus and simplify. We live in a small house because we would prefer that. So we want to need less, consume less while giving more. So I started a blog. That was the first blog that you helped me with, right? Mm-hmm. But it's really hard to monetize. It's hard to, I had people reading it, and I hired a coach who said, who's going to pay you to learn to be poor? I'm like, well, I didn't say be poor.
Actually, rich.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But he didn't get it. I didn't hire him. But anyway, as a coach, right, he was fired after one time. But that kind of prompted me eventually to hire some coaches to say, okay, I have this passion within me to help people understand that we need to be planning for these later years of our life. And so they helped me rebrand it to Your Best Third, because what I want to do is help people at whatever third they're in to really begin to think about, what do I want to do in that third. What do I want to be like? Where, how am I going to invest my life? Because it's a lot of time. And if we don't think about it and plan it, then it's just going to happen.
So it's almost an empowerment piece, kind of like what we do with Soul Journey. It's just a way to pour into people, to encourage them, to help them kind of focus in on where their gifts are and not just retire.
Right, exactly.
Well, and I think that when we first talked, there was this assumption that people who are close to you in age are the people that was sort of your target.
Right.
And I'm 44. That's right, I am. And
Very young.
Very young. I love you, Debbie. I like the very part. Not just you're young, but I'm very young.
But you're right.
We could mother. I tell Carol I could call her mommy.
Yeah.
And then she punched me. But one of my peers, after you spoke, it really impacted her, and I realized it's your generation. It's because we're all thinking about it. We're all thinking, and the stage I'm at. When my kids were little, it felt like I will be in this diaper forever. And then now I'm sort of on the cusp of realizing, oh my gosh, 30 more years. And that can be overwhelming, and thinking, what am I going to do, and what's that look like?
You really should be thinking of 50 more.
50. But I'm happy to say my husband's already there, so I might be old, but not that
50
old.
more years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, see.
Yeah. 44
See?
to 94. That's a long time.
Oh, yeah. And my mom's 92. So, I know what it looks like to be continually purposeful. That's a good role model to have.
Continually purposeful.
So what kind of old person do you want to be?
Yeah.
Feisty. I want to be
You're
feisty.
there, baby. You're
and
there.
I want to be feisty, and I want to be purposeful. I always want it to be about something other than me.
So there are, and you taught us, to pay attention to the different types of people who are in retirement homes or living their lives. And I have a 92-year-old grandmother as of tomorrow. It's her 92nd birthday, and she lives a very simple life. She's not feisty. She's simple. She's just hanging out, and I love her dearly. But I look at my best friend's grandmother, who in her 90s lives half the year in Vienna and half the year in New York City and wears leather skirts and dates a man 25 years younger than her. Like, I want to be her.
Me too.
Right. Like, she's feisty. She's sassy. Like, she's living life, and it's a beautiful thing. And like, my mother and I always talk about it. She's a fun lady. And that's what you want to be when you grow up. That's what I want to be when I grow up.
Continually have it on your radar that you're not ready to just sit yet. Until your health, if you don't have your health, it's a whole different discussion. But as long as there's a way to get up and get out and get moving in the morning, but not everybody feels that way.
Well, for me, I was thinking, for the love, I want simple, because I'm projecting, because the part of the journey I'm at now is so go, go, go. So that seems enticing to me, where when I'm an empty nester, suddenly I'm going to be feeling like, wait, I want to be feisty. I want to be in a leather skirt, whatever it is. I think it's just, do you feel that way? Because you're much younger. I think you're very, very young. If I'm very young, you're very, very young. So are you thinking ahead to those stages yet, or are you just living it up?
That was kind of the thing that made me just connect with Debbie's blog, or connecting with her message, is thinking about that you don't arrive to those places accidentally. And so I hadn't been thinking about it. It was not something that's on my radar to think about what I'm going to be like when I'm 60. But I think it was probably right around when I turned 30 that I started thinking, wait, you don't save for retirement a week before you retire. And it's kind of like hearing Debbie's words over and over again. It does make me think, who do I actually want to be? So I feel like I'm in a process of that. It's something that hasn't been on my radar, but I think it feels more important now to invest in it. And I don't think I realized that.
Don't you think women are always looking to other women for role models? And so we meet Debbie, and Debbie's, what'd you say, 60? 4 and 63. Okay. And I'm 65, and I have my grandmother died at 87, and she was an art teacher until 3 weeks before she died. And my mom is 92, and she's very purposeful. So I've got really strong role models in my world. And so I think if you don't have those, or you don't seek those out, then you just do what you see. And so I think it's great that we can challenge each other to look at the last third or the best third, and expect something more than what maybe our grandmothers expected.
And to surround ourselves with women that we know will push us or challenge us. And like my sisters and I always say to each other, like when we promise, if I turn into a dud, or if I can't, I'm too old, I'm too tired, my hip. If that's what our conversation becomes, talking about our hips
Or the weather.
please, please,
Okay,
let's
my
hold each
grandmother's
other
favorite
accountable.
topic. I'm just saying.
The weather.
Yeah, every day. What's the weather, Jenny? I'm like,
But that doesn't make her a bad person.
It's
It
just,
does,
but
not
if
at all.
it needs to just be a slice, be balanced.
Well, I think something that resonates with me about women needing other women is the example of sometimes it seems so trivial, but you start to think that time is running out for you. Okay, I'm on the downhill slide now, but to see women who are older than me, to see there is so much life left, it kind of takes the pressure off of trying to make this day the most important day ever, but really seeing that there is time and that there are women doing extraordinary things in all different thirds. It's kind of hopeful for me, instead of looking at it more oh my gosh, I only have this much time to accomplish this or this or this. Instead, seeing that there are women flourishing from
Well, I think you're
20 to
because
29.
you've got this one in your life.
That's true.
And she's going to make sure that you don't get complacent
Very
about.
true.
Yeah.
I do want to just say that one of the byline for your best third is life on purpose, because it is about choosing. If you do choose to have a calm life and stay at home and be focused on the weather, you just need to be okay with that.
Right.
So yeah, and some people are going to be active, and some people are just going to be tired, and just want to be there. So I think the thing that I want to do is help people just be intentional with how they're living their life. Whether, I have a friend who just exists to babysit her grandkids. That would not be my reason for existing. I love my grandkids, but they have other grandparents who will take them for the whole weekend. Yay. So I think it's just to be intentional and to be purposeful.
Good.
Well, I think there is no better note to end on than that, and we'll all be encouragers. And say one more time how people can find you.
The website is yourbestthirdthird, no spaces in there.com. And please sign up for our newsletter, because we're really pushing right now to, kind of get a buzz going with that. So yourbestthirdthird.com.
Oh, good. Awesome. Thank you so much. And until next time, that's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she
And
said.
that's what she said.
Thank you to the Historic Virginia Theater for hosting us today, and thank you to Columbia Street Roastery for keeping us caffeinated, and thank you, Debbie, so much for being here.
And Brittany.
And thank you, Brittany, for being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
And thank you for joining us.